I made a video a while back called How Music Saves Lives, and I really do stand by that video. And in this one I wanted to dive a little more into the intricacies of metal specifically and how I think that correlates with mental health and even benefits it. If you guys want to leave your stories down below or comment on what you think of this video, I would definitely love to hear how it relates to mental health for you and how it has helped you, hurt you, or anything in between if you're comfortable sharing. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So for me, I know that along the way of metal, I've always seen the classic cliches that you always see. That metal makes you violent, that metal makes you depressed, that metal is evil, that metal is the stuff of the devil. And while all of those things are very surface level, you can't really just disregard them as people being misguided and not really paying attention. Because when you look at metal music, a lot of it really does seem like it would lead you to believe that. Because even on the outside looking in, or even if you're in the metal community, there is a lot of vile and gruesome, offensive, and just really like on the edge of stuff, lyricism, album artworks, and bands that really embody a lot of violent tendencies with their lyricism, with their imagery, with whatever they may encompass. And this can be everything from heavy anti-religious sentiments, or violence, or really extreme gore, or horror. So it's not really hard to see if you really think about it for a couple of seconds why people would think that about metal. But then you actually talk to metalheads and you listen to them and you listen to their stories, and you constantly will see people talk about how metal got them through some of the roughest patches of their life, the darkest times of their life, and literally prevented them from being suicidal, being depressed, or gave them an outlet to filter their stuff into, to filter their emotions through. And I think that kind of comes in two different breeds. On one hand, you have the people that were already feeling that low and that depressed, and having something that was depressing or violent or whatever it may be gave them a place, a positive outlet to put those emotions into, so it didn't come through in their life or self-destruct towards themselves. And on the other hand, I think that metal just provides such a great safe space and community for people that feel outcasts. Because while outcast culture is pretty difficult to define in any community, metal has always attracted and pretty much been made for the people that were counterculture, that were not fitting the mold, that were not what society typically thought they would be. And if you go to a metal show, you'll see aesthetics and people dressing and acting and looking like you wouldn't really see on the street or in a Walmart. And maybe you'll occasionally clock one in public, one or two of them, but it's really rare to see that many people in one spot, because most of the time metalheads are rather introverted or reclusive, tend to keep to themselves. And I know for a fact from my personal experience, and this is just, I guess, my story on it, is metal has helped my mental health tremendously. And a lot of that comes down to being able to have this channel and being able to have this positive outlet that I put my passion into. But growing up, even before I had this channel or anything, music was such a lifeline in so many ways. And I think a lot of people write metal off as just being grotesque and over the top lyrically, but if you really look at a lot of songs and a lot of albums and bands, especially in like the metalcore community and stuff, you'll see some really emotionally provoking lyrics that have a lot put into them and clearly have the heart and guts necessary to embody that spirit and give you a reason to fight. And there is nothing better in this world than when you finally hear something and come into contact with something that makes sense of the things that doesn't make sense. And when you feel like someone can relate to you, or you have a way to put that energy into something, it can literally mean the difference between you getting through that day and you not. You can just turn the rest of the world off, and in like the most parasocial relationship way I can say it, you can relate to someone that you will never know, that you will never speak to, that you will never meet, but that you feel like understands you. And to harken back to what I said about how people that might feel more like anti-society and more violent, having that positive outlet in metal, they're not really violent people, but it lets them take out their energy on something that isn't going to hurt themselves or someone else in the process. Because I really don't think that metal by nature makes people violent or makes people unruly, and if anything, it gives them a place to make those feelings make sense in a logical and safe, healthy way. Don't even get me started on the dozens upon hundreds hundreds upon thousands of hip-hop songs that talk about killing people, fucking bitches, cheating on your hoe, and making dollar bills. So if we're talking about like negative influence from lyricism, rap would be a whole nother thing. There are tons of amazing metal songs that deal with very serious topics that are beautiful in the same way that hip-hop does, and by the same token, I would not say that hip-hop outright makes people violent. But what are your guys' opinions of this, and what are your stories for how metal has affected your mental health positively or negatively with the outlet? Let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear it. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is, my name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.